There, I don't know if you guys can even see that. Yes, you can. Good stuff. Alright then. Hello and welcome, guys, to another 1v1 from the TAC tournament. The Arabian Conquest, as Idle Beaver quite rightly says in the chat. But this should be an interesting one. We've seen some very good games so far from this tournament. And the nice thing about it is that it's been non-mirror Civ matchups. And the whole idea of the non-mirror Civ matchups is to give the players a kind of challenge and also test the balance patch itself to see just how good the balance is with the changes that it makes, because oftentimes players will play mirror simply to reduce the differences in the civilizations and reduce the differences in terms of balance. Now obviously when you play with different civs, if you get the Goths versus the Britons, well, it's pretty obvious that the Goths are going to win, but the balance patch here aims to make things a little bit more even across the board, and even if you get Britons against the Goths, you should still be able to give them a good fight, and that's what it's all about. So down to the southwest of the map in the hot pink, we have Vinchester playing as the Chinese. We've seen quite a lot of Chinese in these games actually, and as I say, these are only just the highlights of this tournament. But yes, Vinchester is the Chinese down to the southwest, and up to the northeast of the map in the blue we have got Vietnam Human playing as the Celts. Both of these guys have been on my channel on the stream before. Vietnam Human is an alt for someone. I just cannot remember who. There are so many people with so many alts and so many Smurf accounts then that I forget. So if anyone in the chat knows who Vietnam Human actually is, then let me know. Otherwise, it's just a Vietnam Human, and we'll leave it at that. So Celts versus Chinese. Again, should be an interesting matchup because the Celts are pretty good on land actually. I mean, their Woad Raiders are fantastic, and what the Celts benefit from really is the speed of those Woad Raiders, and they benefit from the speed of being able to raid their opponents and keep them on the defensive. So for Vinchester here, probably going to want to wall up a little bit, and yes, I'll Beaver again correct in the chat. Vietnam Human equals ACCM. So yes, if that means anything to you, there you go. And wow, what a great start to the stream. Coda2K has become a Wallow Warlord. Thank you very much, Coda2K, for subscribing. I really appreciate it. And there's the Wallow on the stream. Good start, I gotta say. Thank you very, very much, man. So yeah, Vietnam Human luring in his first ball. First balls, of course, coming in from both of them, and I expect that we'll see a pretty even start to this game. But I'll be interested to see how it goes later on. And to be honest with you, it's very difficult to analyze, you know, how Celts versus Chinese might go, because it's just something that you would never normally see. You just never would see that in a normal situation. So there you go. But I think Chinese here, we'll have a look at their map, and well, Vinchester will have a look at his map even and see what he's got to play with. Over to the right, he's got that main gold there. Should be easily protectable. He should be able to wall that very easily right here and here, which is nice because these cliffs provide a very good natural wall for him, as well as this tree line. So that gold should be nice and safe actually, which means archers in the feudal age are definitely worthwhile and something that he could legitimately go for, if not a drush. But I think in this kind of situation with this kind of map, a drush wouldn't be as suited to just going for a fast feudal with archers, but I guess it depends on the player's playstyle as well. And Vietnam Human here with his scout, it looks like we might see a little bit of laming actually, but Vinchester, oh, the Vinchester trying to throw Vietnam Human off there. Throw ACCM off, because ACCM, he sees that boar. Obviously blue sees that boar there, and he's basically doing what Frederick did to me the other day. If you remember when we were playing on ES Graveyards, Frederick was laming my villager with the boar. Yeah, that's exactly what Vietnam Human's going to do here. He's going to stand in front of this boar, he's going to get in the way, and he's going to really piss Vinchester off. He's going to attack this villager while he's luring the boar. He's going to try and distract the boar. There you go, look at that. Look at that, we called it. He's going to block the villager. He's just going to be a real pain in the ass, and that is going to be annoying. Whether or not he'll complete this boar lure, we'll have to see. It looks like he might, but he's got to fight downhill. He's got to go downhill, and Vinchester here is actually, well, Vietnam Human's actually helping him out a little bit. He's trying to block the boar so that it runs back, but it looks like Vinchester's going to pull this one off. He's close enough to the TC now that Vietnam Human is not going to be able to lane that one. That was a close one though, and that ball orb certainly wasn't as good as Vinchester would have liked. But yeah, Vietnam Human, bit lame, but very well dealt with by Vinchester there, indeed. Very well dealt with. Definitely. So we'll see a bit more about his map. Obviously, his gold here on the right side is easily defensible. The problem is the stone on the front is not. And if he gets tower rushed, that would be really bad news, because a tower up here would cover this wood. Not that that matters because he's got wood at the back, but it would also cover the stone. And that means if he gets tower rushed, then he will not be able to get any stone to build defensive towers with. So that's not good. Also, he's in a bit of a basin. He's got hills all the way around, which means, again, playing defensively, not going to be ideal. So we will see. But Vietnam Human, ACCM, is walling up already, and there's some drushing action coming in from him. We've got 3 militia heading across the map now. No barracks or anything like that from Vinchester. And I think if ACCM follows this up with a tower on that hill right there, just here, that would be incredibly good for him. And it would work very well. Now, obviously, Vinchester may not know about this drush. Let's have a look at his line of sight. He sees the barracks, actually, so he does know that that drush is incoming. And, well, we'll see what he does to deal with that. It looks like it should be an easy defense because, as I say, he's got a very easy wall on this right side. And he's walling in towards his TC here as well from this this wall. Now, obviously, the problem with this is that he is, like I say, walling this stone out of his base, but he has got this gold. So going straight into archers certainly looks like what Vinchester is going to do. You know, he could add a scout or two, but I think really just going straight into archers is the best decision. He's up against militia, and militia are countered by archers as well. So archers from Vinchester should be the best option. But interestingly enough, Vinchester's going up on, well, he's got 27 population already. He's continuing actually to add in farms. He's continuing to add in villages. And obviously, you know, seeing that Vietnam Human has done this drush means that Vietnam Human is also going to have a slow feudal time. He's just doing a loom now, then he'll go up to the feudal age. But for Vinchester, he is playing a little bit differently. But look, there's this wall. Looks like it might just go down. He's going to try and get the repairs in quickly. But will... Oh, man, that was so close. Seconds in that, milliseconds in that. Vietnam Human almost getting through that wall there. And that would have been really bad for Vinchester. He would have got straight through and probably started harassing those villagers, which is bad. But Vinchester here, still Dark Age, still adding villagers in. He is going up to the feudal age on 30 villagers by the looks of things. Bear in mind he's still got his scout, so he's got 29 villagers at the moment. But this is very unusual, and it looks like he's just going to go with a fast castle then. I take that back about the whole the whole archer rush. Honestly, going straight up to the castle age makes sense. Vietnam Human going up on 31 population, and he's got 4 military units. So Vinchester's going to go up with a huge eco lead, and as long as he can defend from this rush, which, let's be honest, he probably will be able to. He's going to try and snipe that scout there. Nearly getting away with that, but Vinchester's going to lose his scout now. Oh, he will lose it eventually. Whoa, what the hell? Okay, I take that back. He's got 1 health left on his scout, somehow miraculously killing Vietnam Human's scout, even though it had more HP. Vinchester, what a play. What an absolute play. So, yeah, he's going to go straight up to the castle age, and judging by how many farms he's got, we could see some, well, we've not seen even a barracks from him, so it doesn't even look like he wants to get aggressive once he reaches his castle. There we go, there's his barracks. He will do some knights, I imagine, or something along those lines. Maybe adding in a second TC as well, but taking a little bit of gold now. He's going to have just enough gold to go up to the castle age straight away. He's going to have a little shortage of wood, though, and he will need, of course, to get up his second military building and a blacksmith if he wants to go up to the castle age quickly. So we've got Vietnam Human in the feudal age already. He's short on food though. He's making a couple of villages first, of course, but he is a little bit short on food, and he's got plenty of farms here. So he is going to go blacksmith and archery range. He will go into archers, and as the Celts, that is pretty common to see actually. It's more often to see, or more common to see Celts go with archers in a 1v1 than it is to see them going for knights, because archers make a nicer transition into the castle age and into the imperial age, and they also have a little bit more versatility. I think archers can hit wood lines even if they're walled up, and in this situation with Vinchester going full wall like this, knights would be really inappropriate almost. They're just going to be very, very ineffective in this kind of situation. So we've got a stable from Vinchester, so he's going to go for knights. But he is just about to click up to the castle age now. Vietnam Human is going to have the advantage going up to the castle age in terms of timing, but he is going to be behind in villager count. If we have a quick look, Vinchester 33 villagers and Vietnam Human just on the 29. He's going to be up on 34 villagers, which means his economy is going to be huge by the time he gets up to the castle age. He's going to be able to start knight production straight away, and with 7-8 villagers on gold, he could even add in a second stable if he wants to. And it looks like, you know, he's going to have enough wood for a second stable easily, or he could have enough wood to get that second TC up. But one thing is for sure, Vinchester needs to regain a little bit of map control now. There's that second stable, by the way. He needs to regain a little bit of map control so that he can make some space. He needs to create some space to put up his second and third TC, because at the moment, in his current position, he can't make that second and third TC in this area. He's got nothing to place the TC against. He's going to want to put one maybe here on the gold at the front, and maybe on the left side or something like that. But he's going to want to get some safe space. He needs to make some space for those TCs. And at the moment, obviously, Vietnam Human rushing in with these archers. He wants to make sure he's got Vinchester on the defensive and he keeps him there. That's what he really wants to do. And my phone is currently ringing. So, oh, it's your mum, Hannah. For some reason, Hannah's mum decided to ring my phone. I don't know what that's about. And there we go. Hannah's just broke everything on her desk. What an interruption there. Wow, it was amazing. Vietnam Human then still really pressuring on the front here. And this is looking pretty risky for Vinchester, but I think Vinchester is hoping with 2 stables, he's going to be able to bust straight out of this, and at the moment, he should be absolutely fine to do that. Now, Vietnam Human, 2 ranges, archers coming out. Of course, he's looking for that crossbow upgrade, but it is more expensive in this balance patch. There it is there. And by the time that crossbow upgrade is done, we're going to start seeing the first knights. But these walls have been breached, and Vinchester has to be very quick with the knights now. There we go, castle age for him, and he's got to be careful not to lose a villager here, because he has to keep that villager lead if he wants to make a comeback almost in this game. It's not really a comeback, but if he wants to regain that map control, then he's going to need those knights quickly. So there's the crossbows in. He's denied his gold at the moment, and we've got a few wolves coming in as well. Maybe we're going to see one of those wolf rushes, the infamous wolf rush. And Vinchester is trying to get those knights out. What's he got? He's got +1 defense. Of course, no bloodlines just yet. But 2 knights is not going to be enough here. He needs a few more knights if he wants to kill these crossbows. And with Vinchester losing his gold at the moment, that is not ideal. But 4 knights should be able to deal with this. Vietnam Human only with +1 attack at the moment. He's not got that +2 defense yet. But we're just waiting for him to make this engagement and clean this up so he can take his gold back. He's confident he could win this with these 4 knights. By the time he's got there, he's lost 1 already, and of course, the crossbows here are going to give him the slip. It's very difficult to fight crossbows when they're like this. They're all bunched up into a tiny space. They do a lot of damage when they're fighting downhill, but the knights will clean it up for sure, and Vinchester's made himself some space. Meanwhile, he's got a little bit of a forward going on this left-hand side. His scout has been out of the picture for a while, and instead he's sent a villager up here. We've got a mangonel coming out on this left side, and that's going to be great for taking out those crossbows, of course, but he's also looking to get very aggressive now that he's cleaned up that aggression in his base, and that he's made some space, like I said, making space all day long. Second TC is going up in this wood line. Interesting choice to put it there. He's not got space for farms around that. It's all about the space, guys. I think you're getting the message. But yeah, he needs to get some farms around here, and he's gonna have to get his 3rd TC way out of his base at the moment, because where it is now, where his base is now, he's just not got space for farms, and that's a big problem. So Vinchester coming in with these knights. He's got that +1 defense. We're not seeing the +2 defense yet. He's quite low on food at the moment, and with that second TC going up, he can't keep knights coming out from 2 stables. He's got to keep these guys alive. These are really crucial. He has to make sure he keeps them alive as much as possible. ACCM, though, focusing the wrong knight down here. He could have killed knight had he not focused the wrong one. But yeah, with this Mangonel in the picture, that's going to be nice. If you could take this range down, that would be a huge problem for ACCM. But ACCM's response is a monastery, and he's going to start making a couple of monks. And I like that choice from him. Monks are fantastic at dealing with knights. Just one conversion, and he could totally turn this around. So this is good for ACCM at present. Now, this Siege Workshop coming up, he's going to get out a Mangonel of his own, and the benefit to that is that the Celts Mangonels, the Celts Siege, it all fires faster. Faster firing Siege means easier micromanagement, and that's good news indeed. So there's the archery range gonna go down. You guys rightly spotted the hole there between the barracks and the house. Yes, there is a hole between the barracks and the house. Would you believe it? One of these ones anyway. But with this Mangonel coming out, he should be able to clear up if he micros well against the other two Mangonels. And then his crossbows are able to engage the knights. And with the monk behind this, he's going to be able to defend from the knights easily. If these knights start to run in and start to cause problems, just a couple of conversions and Vinchester's going to go straight back. We've got a second TC in the back here for Vietnam Human. But I think he's going to be happy with the fact, Vinchester's going to be happy with the fact that he's got Vietnam Human on the defensive, and that he's going to take down this second archery range. Let's see what these Mangonels can do. Obviously there then, that Mangonel getting the first shot, 2 health left, and wow, a little bit of a bad shot from Vinchester there, easily dealt with from ACCM. Vietnam Human here, going to repair that Mangonel up and keep it alive for now, which is very strong indeed. Now, we're only seeing two TCs still from Vinchester. He's really getting into this aggression, and he wants to push ACCM right back and make sure that he continues even. God, I'm choking on all my words today. Continues to hold that map control. It's so crucial that he does that. And he's going to be so careful with these Mangonels. He's got no repairs here. And so far, it's 2 for 1 in terms of Mangonel hits and kills. Vietnam Human getting the advantage. One more shot, though, and this archery range will go down. But at the cost of another Mangonel, I would argue that probably wasn't worth it. 3 for 1 in terms of Mangonels now, and that's a really good catch-up for Vietnam Human. Indeed. So these knights are kind of just sitting around, not doing a whole lot. They can't do a whole lot. There's a couple of monks back here which will convert them as soon as they run in. Maybe this one monk will convert it back from Vinchester, but this looks like it's going to be a tough one for Vinchester to fight outright. He's got bloodlines now as well, which is definitely going to give him a little bit of longevity, but it's going to be tough for him, and it looks like Vietnam Human going to stick up a TC right here as well. So he's going to get that third TC up now, as Vinchester's still sitting on the 2, and he's got so little space for farms. Look what I'm talking about here. There's just no space around this TC. In fact, he's building more mills at the back, but he's continuing to pump out these knights, and he's adding in more and more knights now. His TCs are able to keep up villager production with this food income that he's got, but it's risky playing on the 2 TCs, because if your opponent gets a bigger boom than you, then you're going to be in trouble when it comes to the Imperial Age. But at the moment, Vinchester, a good amount of villagers ahead, a good 14 villagers at this point in time, and I'd say he's really got a great advantage in this game for now. This forward is okay, I guess. It's a little bit risky, because if Vietnam Human just pushes out and takes it, then all of this is going to be lost. But Vinchester's in a good position for now, and he's got a good 300 score lead as well. So I'm not too concerned about him for the time being, and his eco is definitely in a better place at the moment as well. It's just these monks from Vietnam Human. The thing with monks is that although the scores really show that Vinchester's in the lead, if Vinchester makes one mistake and these monks manage to get the 3 conversions, then the tables are completely turned, and Vinchester's not going to be able to make a sudden comeback from that. It's going to be, oh crap, I've lost half of my knights, what now? What am I going to do now? That's not easy to deal with. We've got ACCM, Vietnam Human, also adding in some pikes, so just a defensive measure there. But these crossbows gonna get taken down if they're not careful. He has to really focus these knights, but the monk's coming in, and that, oh wow, Vinchester Vinchester's going to clean this up. ACCM didn't want to go in with the monks by the looks of things. Either that or he's going to run back to the monks. But no, the monks are going to retreat. And all of those crossbows are going to get taken down. As Vietnam Human has no way now to even replenish them because he lost those 2 ranges. So really risky stuff. But it looks like Vietnam Human is going to go for a castle fairly soon. All these villagers on the stone. We may see a castle. Indeed, we may see a castle. Now, Vietnam Human, potential here for 3 conversions. This monk going to get taken down, though, so the most we'll see is 2 if he's lucky. But wow, Vinchester getting just out of range in time. And Vinchester making a run for it now, making a run for the hills to avoid those monks. Now, at the moment, losing 2 monks wouldn't be a problem. Sorry, 2 knights wouldn't be a problem. If he lost 2, it would be absolutely fine. He's got enough there to turn it around and win that fight anyway. Now, Vietnam Human with a lot of pikes, and this is the kind of thing I don't like to see. This many pikes is a bad sign to me, because you're making pikes. Pikes are like a last resort, you know. If you're making pikes, you're spending that food, you're spending that gold, sorry, that wood. You've upgraded them as well, which is obviously, you know, also costly. And they're really just useless units unless you're defending entirely, just defending. And it looks like ACCM is just playing the defenders game now, as Vinchester holds this map control. But for the time being, it's still just 2 TCs for Vinchester, and I'm wondering when he's going to add in that 3rd. He's got the resources for it now. He's got 100 stone, he's got 700, almost 800 wood. I mean, that surely screams, build the TC, you can do it. And I think he can do it, but he's just, I don't know, unwilling to add that 3rd TC just yet. I don't know, maybe he's trying to make a point. Maybe he's trying to say, hey, I can win this game with just 2 TCs and a million knights. But unfortunately, he's not going to be able to just run in here with these knights. They will get absolutely destroyed if he runs into that army. And this is why I'm saying that 3rd TC is absolutely necessary at this point in time. The knights are going to come in, though. And of course, he's going to try and snipe these mangonels. Will he run straight into a trap, though? It looks like he might. The monks here, a bit late to react. There's a castle going up for Vietnam Human as well. The monks so far, though, not getting a conversion. But these pikemen absolutely cleaning up at the back. These knights will absolutely go down. And this TC is going to add some additional fire as well, albeit 1 arrow at a time. This castle, though, looks like it may be lost if he loses these villagers. But look at that. The mangonels on the hill taking down the battering ram. The castle will survive for now, and those knights are absolutely taken down as well. All of them going to Deathland, going to hell, and they are all dead. They are all cleaned up. And Vinchester, massive mistake running in there. He threw everything away. He lost 3 rams. He lost about 12 knights, and that was messy indeed. Vietnam Human gonna get up that castle, and he's, well, he can just move straight out. Then the pike's just gonna push out as well. And as I can say, Vinchester cannot push into that, and now he's not on 3 TCs still. He's still only on the 2. A siege workshop going up at the top of this hill here, and you're just thinking to yourself, what is going on now? I mean, Vietnam Human lost hardly nothing there. He's lost nothing at all. And we have a look at the villager count. Vinchester is still ahead. He's still got a good 16 more villagers, but he did lose a lot of military there, and population is only 4 different. So Vietnam Human with a larger population here as well. So yeah, he grabbed that relic and he is running. He's building another monastery back here to get that gold count. And we've got a castle on the hill now for Vinchester as well. Now, like I say, for Vietnam Human, these pikes are useless at doing anything but defending. So they're not exactly going to be able to push out or anything like that. But Vietnam Human with the 3 TCs now, he is going to be in a good place once he goes up to the Imperial Age, and that is exactly what he's doing. He's clicked up, he's on 11%, and Vinchester is on 4%. So Vietnam Human with the advantage into the Imperial Age, sorry, and that is, of course, going to be pretty worrying now for Vinchester, I feel. Vinchester, his eco is fragile. He's, like I say, still only on the 2 TCs. But, I mean, that's not really that much of an issue, I guess. I mean, I keep saying, oh, he's only on 2 TCs, but he has actually got the villager lead. So, it's probably not so bad. But the villager lead won't stay in his favor forever if Vietnam Human has the extra TC producing villagers all day long. And I think when Vietnam Human gets up to the Imperial Age, we're going to see some trebs coming out. We're going to see maybe some Void Raiders as well, and he's going to get right in here and raid this eco. I mean, this is so exposed. There's nothing near these villagers that can protect them, aside from this TC, and that is miles away. Void Raiders in here, any units in here would cause havoc, and we've got Vinchester, there we go, adding in a castle, realizing how exposed his eco is. Castle down here from Vietnam Human, a risky place for a castle, and those guys were not patrolled. That was a little bit messy. He could have killed all of those knights there had he patrolled them. But the knights going down incredibly quickly to these pikes, which have equal upgrades as well. Running into that castle there, Vietnam Human will spot that castle out and of course go back. But his castle at the bottom of the hill, I think is probably out of range. I'm not sure. We'll see. No, it's not out of range. It's oh no, it is out of range. That's good. Vinchester though now starting on some Chuko Nu production. Those Chuko Nus will absolutely destroy the pikemen. They are going to get absolutely wrecked by that. But this castle may go up if Vietnam Human distracts for long enough, but it's risky. He needs to bring this Mangonel over to deal with the Chuko Nu, and these villagers may end up dying actually before this castle gets completed. Will the Mangonel come in time? We'll see. 70% on that castle, and the Chuko Nu is starting to kill those villagers off. But Vietnam Human up to the Imperial age now. And there's that Mangonel coming in to try and finish these Chuko Nu off so we can get this castle done. But wow, Chuko Nu dealing with that Mangonel so quickly there. Very well played indeed. And we've still got pikes coming out from Vietnam Human, and I'm wondering why on earth is he still making pikes in this game when he's now against Chuko Nu. He needs to switch it up and start getting some nice anti-archer units out, such as Mangonels and Onagers and Siege Onagers. Maybe the Siege Onager hype is real, I don't know. Capture Ram just completed for Vietnam Human though, and of course that will soak up a little bit of arrow fire, but Chuko Nu really do decimate the Rams. They absolutely destroy Rams with their... Well, they don't have the highest attack, but the thing about the Chuko Nu is that because they fire up, 5 or 6 arrows at a time when they get upgraded, they do 5 times as much damage to a ram, because a ram will only take 1 damage from any ranged unit. But if you're firing 5 arrows in the time it takes to fire 1, then or 2, then obviously you're going to do a lot more damage overall to those rams. And once you get the Chuko Nu massed up, they will absolutely destroy rams in a matter of seconds. Whoa. So, whoa, we got another Wallalow. Thank you very much. Zach is my wet dream. Wow, what a name. You made that for me. I appreciate that. And you are also a Wallalow warlord. I'm glad I make you happy at night while you're in bed. It's kind of weird, but thank you for subscribing anyway. I really appreciate it. What a name. What a name. So, Vietnam Human, unable to complete this castle, which is obviously a big problem. He is not going to get that one finished, but he has got a Mangonel in here, and he is going to, well, try and snipe some of these Chuko Nu, I imagine. But Halberdier upgrade for Vietnam Human. What is he doing? Halberdier, come on. He's just... Oh, coming straight in and going to suicide against these Chuko Nu. Look at that Onager there, getting absolutely destroyed by the Chuko Nu as well. Chuko Nu are so strong. They're elite now as well. They've got +5 attack from the unique upgrade. And these guys are going to absolutely destroy everything. The Onager didn't even have a chance to fire a shot before it was destroyed by those Chuko Nu there. And Vietnam Human's answer to this is Halberdier? What is he thinking? I don't know, but more Onagers coming out. And this is where it would help to be the Koreans. The Koreans would have the extra range advantage over these units, but this is really problematic now. That Siege Workshop going to go down. Chuko Nu too strong. And too strong for Vietnam Human, it seems. I'm just wondering what he's doing, adding in more and more Halberdier. Führer Celtica, of course, for the siege there, but I don't know. We will see. Halberdier and siege. The Halberdier work as a meat shield to the siege. I get that. But against Chuko Nu, it's like the ultimate counter to this. If they can snipe the Mangonels or the Onagers, it doesn't matter about the Halberdier. They're going to do absolutely nothing to the Chuko Nu. So we'll see what happens. Trebuchet's coming up, deploying on this castle from Vinchester. And Vinchester now, look at that eco, 2,000 gold. He's not even built that third TC. He's still doing this on 2 TCs. And that's what I find the most amazing about this game. He's kept all of his villagers alive all game long. I don't think he's lost a single one. And now he's starting to get that surround on Vietnam Human. So there we go. Chuko Nu here, actually dying a little bit now. They're not focusing down the onagers, and he did actually take a couple of onager shots. So perhaps not going too badly for ACCM after all. But yeah, he has to focus down the onagers here. Good shot with that trebuchet, focusing that down. And I think he's going to struggle to out-micro 2 onagers here. And the onagers with the extra HP and of course that 7 pierce armor now able to stand up a little bit more to the elite Chucks. But Vinchester's just adding in more and more castles, and now he's got 3 castles up, 3 Chuko Nu at a time. The 4th castle on the right is going to just add to his numbers. But yeah, I mean, he's got to have some answers to these onagers, and the Chuko Nu can be an answer if they are microed well and if they are focusing the onagers down. But other than that, he could add in some light cavalry fairly easily. He's got a good amount of food in the bank, and we will see. We will see. Vinchester gonna take down these onagers, and the thing about the onagers as well is they're so expensive. You've got to remember that the onagers, the siege onager upgrade is the most expensive upgrade in the game. Onagers aren't exactly cheap either, and if they're getting taken down by 3 or 4 Chuko Nus, then they're not actually being economically viable at all. They're just getting destroyed. And suddenly Vietnam Human, no army left at all, and he's just got to try and snipe the Chuko Nus. And of course the Chuko Nus just splitting, ducking, dodging, diving, and moving out of the way of this onager, taking it down. And oh man, that was nasty. He very nearly took it out. But there you go, one onager suiciding a few of his own units, managing to kill off 5 or 6 Chuko Nu. But is that worth it at all? I don't know. So obviously the hubs here are getting absolutely destroyed. We've got more and more Chuko Nu piling out of these castles from Vinchester, and on the right side he's done that light cavalry upgrade and he's starting to harass this eco of Vietnam Human. Another castle going up on this right side. We've got more Chuko Nu coming out here as well, and this is really bad for Vietnam Human because if Vietnam Human gets distracted over this side, then he's going to be really forgetting about this left hand side, which is where the problems are going to lie. That onager's going to go down, and what, it killed 1 Chuko Nu. Not worth it at all. On the right side, like I say, this harassment continuing. Vinchester going to get in there with those light cavs, and those light cavs are perfect for the job. They can avoid the halberdier, but they can raid like crazy, and there's nothing here for Vietnam Human to run to, really. You can run towards his TCs, I guess, but having to put halberdier in your eco to protect it, not ideal. They're slow moving, they're always going to be following, they're always going to be chasing, and that's not what you want to be doing. Vinchester with a great advantage in this game, I'd say then, at this moment in time. Castles here in the very offensive position. Vinchester, let's have a look. Continuing to make light cavs. He's not got that many stables, but he's putting them up on the left side as well, so he's got more places to raid from. And his Chuko Nu just going to absolutely clean house if he gets into the back with them. So many on the front as well. And Vietnam Human now, what's that? A couple of rams coming out and a onager as well. But look how quickly the rams are going to go down as well here. Just bam, ram down. But he does have to be very careful of the onager. Watch your units, dude. Okay, so he lost, what, 2 more Chuko Nu. And bam, another onager down. And Vietnam Human's just not able to get the numbers he needs. I mean, that was pathetic. 2 rams and an onager, and bam, they're gone. This is it. This has got to be it now. Chuko Nu in the woodline over here. We've got more light cavalry raiding and raiding as well. And there you go. This onager maybe going to get a few kills, but again, going down before it really can do significant damage. And Vinchester's all over this now. Vietnam Human surrounded and being raided from every angle. He's got light cavs coming in on this left side. We've got light cavs cleaning up on the right. Chuko Nu here just denying any wood income that Vietnam Human might have. And that is literally GG. The onagers, like I say, just unable to do enough damage here. They're popping out and they're just hitting, you know, 1 or 2 Chuko Nus and then getting destroyed. So there you go. Elite Chuko Nus, the ultimate unit, it seems. Vinchester taking that game, and that light cavalry raiding came at a perfect time as well. Looked very good for Vinchester. with Vietnam Human defending for a long time after the Castle Age. He never really regained map control after the Castle Age. His early game was good, but I loved the way that Vinchester just walled up against that and just kept his cool, kept his villagers alive, and managed to pull that off on 2 TCs. How often do you see that? A game with just 2 TCs in the entire game for one player. It's almost unheard of, but with map control, I guess he didn't really have to worry too much about building TCs to keep his villagers safe. He just needed the castles for the Chuko Nu. But yeah, Chinese, fantastic civilization, and definitely loving the Chuko Nu. Now, if Siege Onager had been done for Vietnam Human, perhaps it could have been a little bit of a different story. The Siege Onager would have done a lot more damage to the Chuko Nu. Wider splash area, much more base damage as well, so doing more damage over time. Maybe that would have been a different story altogether. But like I say, it's the most expensive upgrade in the game. Vietnam Human had no chance of getting that done in a 1v1 situation. And even with Rams in the mix, he couldn't do anything there because the Chuko Nu just shred them. So anyway, we're going to come back and we'll go to another game in just a second. So stay where you are. Plenty more games coming your way. If you haven't already, do follow the stream. Become a Wololo Warrior. And if you want to support me further, then do subscribe as well. We've had a couple of subscribers already, which is fantastic. Zach is my wet dream. I really don't know what to think about that. But I appreciate it nevertheless. If you are a Wololo Warrior, sorry, a Wololo Warlord, if you have subscribed, then make sure you check your Twitch inbox, because I did send you a message and an invitation to the Wololo Warlord exclusive Steam group club. Oh yeah. And